Hi, if you're watching this, you're probably interested in copywriting as a career. That's a great choice. Good copywriters can have flexible hours and make almost unlimited money with very little training. While a college degree and specialized knowledge can help, all you really need to become a good copywriter is dedication and a little information to get you started. In this course, Secrets of Good Copywriters, you'll be given all the skills and information you could need to start a successful copywriting career. Before you can become a copywriter, it's important to understand what copywriting is. Unfortunately, defining copywriting can be a bit of a challenge. You see, copy comprises pretty much everything we read on the internet, in magazines, and on billboards that isn't journalistic writing or literature. So what really defines copywriting? At its core, copywriting is salesmanship in print. Copywriters are attempting to sell a concept or product to the audience and get them to take action. Sometimes that action is very clear-cut, like if you're writing marketing copy for a new app you want your audience to buy. Other times the goal is simply to build trust with the ultimate goal of getting the prospect to become a customer, like in the case of many blogs. Ultimately, though, the goal of copy is to motivate to some call to action, which means copywriters have to be versatile enough to write on any subject for any purpose in any manner that's going to trigger a specific desired response. In the end, copy is a broad term for a large variety of writing. In fact, establishing exactly what copywriters write is almost impossible. All copywriters are writers. Exactly what kind of writer isn't always clear. I think that Ian Brome from Write for Your Life describes it best. Copywriting is a varied and hard to pin down occupation. Every copywriter is different. Some work freelance and some work for others. Some write adverts and some write legal documents. To be a copywriter is beyond definition, but it's fair to say that one thing binds us together. We all work with words on a daily basis. So now that we've established that copywriters write all kinds of content, let's get a little more specific about the types of writing you're most likely going to create while actually working as a copywriter. Blogs are perhaps one of the most common forms of copy in demand today. Almost every company has a blog with a unique voice. These tend to be less formal and more opinionated than typical news articles. Website copy is also in high demand. In order to write for web, there are a lot of specific tricks and rules you'll need to learn, which we'll go into later. Email campaigns are another popular type of copy. Emails require you to be short and pithy, and they have to be interesting enough both to open and to click through on, making them a challenging but fun type of writing to do. Social media posts like on Facebook and LinkedIn and tweets, they're also created by copywriters. These tend to be fun and witty forms of writing, but very concise. White papers and case studies are less common and more technical. They tend to be informative and objective, even though they're usually purposed towards a sale. Some copywriters also write press releases and other content intended for the media. Others write video scripts for clients to record advertisements or other videos to go on websites and social media, usually as a part of a greater marketing campaign. Some copywriters will even create informational articles to go on websites. It really just depends on what your client needs. So once you're a copywriter, what will you do all day? Obviously, you're going to write. It's impossible to create content and copy without writing. But did you know that writing is only a small portion of what keeps a copywriter busy? Copywriters must wear a variety of hats in order to create well-written copy. One of the most important secondary skills you'll need as a copywriter is the ability to do quality research. In fact, almost half the time you spend copywriting will actually be spent doing research into both what you're writing and the audience who will read it. Depending on the topic and subject, this research can sometimes be very in-depth or very complex, so it's important to be able to find trustworthy resources and then to simplify what you find. Editing and proofreading are also important skills to have as a copywriter. Not only do you have to ensure that your copy is flawless when it's sent to the client, but you also need to be able to edit down your original copy to better fit the needs and desires of your client, sometimes even if it goes against what you think is best. Finally, a copywriter needs to be able to manage the needs of many projects at once, from start to finish, often completely independently. In some cases, this may mean that you plan and implement an entire marketing campaign from start to finish, including interfacing with other stakeholders like the graphic designer, the coder, and of course the client herself. We've touched on exactly who the clients you'll have are a bit already, but now let's get into who copywriters really write for. In reality, the answer is just about anyone. People who need copy aren't constrained by industry or type of content. In fact, you'll probably have a very wide variety of clients when you start out as a copywriter. That's something that makes copywriting a really interesting job. You never know what kind of content you'll have from one project to another. In the same day, you may write a very technical legal white paper, as well as a lighthearted blog about foods that look like animals. The sky's the limit. It really can be almost anything. Where you get these clients depends on how you work. Many copywriters choose to work freelance and find clients online, bidding for open call projects and via other clients. Others work for agencies and get the clients sent to them that way. Still others find in-house positions and focus on only one or a group of products. It really just depends on your needs and ultimately how you choose to work. No matter where you get your clients, though, they're all going to have one thing in common: an agenda. When you're writing copy, the client's agenda comes first, something you always need to keep in mind, no matter what you're writing. As you can see, becoming a copywriter means many different things. It may be easy to feel disheartened or like you have a ton to learn, but in reality, all you're doing is opening a world of possibilities. When you're a copywriter, you're going to become many things at once. In fact, becoming a copywriter means becoming a chameleon. But this is actually easier than it sounds. By the end of this course, you'll be a copywriter in every sense of the multi-layered word. Our next video discusses the specific skills and attributes you're going to need to be an effective copywriter, so feel free to stick around and watch it. But in the meantime, just remember that copywriting is, at its core, about catching the interest of the audience. As Howard Gossage famously said, nobody reads ads. People read what interests them. Sometimes it's an ad. The same is true of all copy. By the end of this course, you too can write about what interests the audience.